Welcome to another video. Today, what we will be doing is analyzing the market both from a technical and COT perspective. So specifically, what we will be doing is taking a pair that you guys requested and performing a full live breakdown on it, checking what we have from a technical and order flow perspective. So COT data, which is the commitment of traders, what the biggest banks and institutions, so the non-commercials, the biggest speculators in the market, are doing on that specific pair, and by using the combination of the technicals and the fundamentals, we will be able to find the best zone for a potential trading setup. Now, if you're new to the channel, I'm a top holder on the TradingView platform and I share free education and analysis on all my platforms daily. So I suggest you subscribe and I will see you in the video. Okay, so it's definitely time to make an update on the situation that we currently have on GBPAUD. So that is exactly what we will be speaking about in this video, and by the end of it, I will also show you exactly what kind of trading opportunity we can be looking for on GBPAUD from a swing trading perspective. So the video will be both educational and practical, because you will also see exactly what we can be looking for on GBPAUD, and as usual, I will try to keep the analysis as educational as possible so that you will learn what are the important things to check when you're actually analyzing the market. So let's start this full analysis from the monthly time frame. Now on the monthly, clearly we have a market that has created a very strong move to the downside. From here, the market has created all this huge impulse to the downside. And currently, where is the level from which all that move to the upside had started? Now, the level from which all this move to the upside had started is exactly this very important demand area that we have here. So basically, what we have is a market that has created a strong impulse to the downside that has gone to test the previous demand. So an incredibly strong level of demand from which we actually expect a retracement from this strong trend to the downside that we actually have. So after the impulse, what do you expect? This is a general thing in the market. After every impulse, you expect a retracement. Specifically, if the impulse actually ends up at the previous demand. So we have a market that is approaching, has already approached, and is rejecting a very strong demand area after a strong impulse, so we definitely can expect a retracement. Now in general, if you have an impulse in the market and you want to measure the retracement, what are you supposed to be doing? Taking your Fibonacci from the high to the low of the impulse. And what you can see that the 0.382, which is the first Fibonacci level at which you expect the market to actually make a retracement, is lining up perfectly with the structure. In fact, in all this move to the upside, there is one specific candle that is not related to the move, which is this big red candle. And this is the previous structure here on the weekly. In fact, if we place a box here, we can see that this zone here, why is it a very important structure level? Because it is exactly the previous resistance here. Then the market broke it to the upside, it was turned support, and now that the market has broken the level to the downside, if the market will go for a retest of the level, it will act as resistance. Therefore, we can expect the market to go and make a test of this level before the continuation to the downside, basically to go and test this confluence of resistance given by the previous support, turn resistance, and the 0.382 Fibonacci retracement taken on the impulse. Perfect. We have already, from a monthly perspective, our upside target in mind for this pair. So we can go down on the weekly and see what we have from a weekly perspective on this pair. So going down on the weekly, but actually I want to keep my upside target here also on the weekly, just to have it in mind. So on the weekly time frame, what we can see, we have our upside target that we have already identified on the monthly. And what we can also see is that the market clearly has created a double bottom. So it failed to continue lower. It actually went with this weekly wick to test all the demand that we have here. All the buy orders of the hedge funds have been actually triggered with this move to the downside. And now that the market has created this double bottom with a very strong wick rejecting these lows, we can definitely expect the continuation to the upside. So also in the weekly, everything is bullish. Let's go down on the daily and see what kind of situation we have from a daily perspective. Just a quick reminder, make sure you comment below and you let me know which pair or topic you would like me to cover or analyze in the next video. Now on the daily time frame, if you remember, what did we say in our previous analysis on this pair? We said after this impulse to the downside and this retracement, we would like to see the continuation to the downside if instead of this area, we will see proper bearish price action from a 4-hour perspective. However, what happened? When the market actually approached the resistance on the daily time frame in which we wanted to see bearish price action, the market just continued to the upside without showing any sign of weakness. So obviously there was no opportunity to be looking for any shorts on GBPAUD. And actually with students, what we did is we actually took a nice buy from an intraday perspective. So we took a nice long position, a nice day trade to the upside here on GBPAUD, which ended up being a quite nice trade from an intraday perspective to the upside. And from a swing trading perspective, we simply did not take any trade because we didn't have any kind of bearish price action here. And in fact, the market has just continued to the upside and currently it has broken all the daily structure. What do I mean by broken all the daily structure? Now it's pretty clear that this level here was the previous support here, preceding this move to the upside. Again, support here, preceding this move to the upside. And then the market went down, found again some support at this area, broke to the downside, and now it broke the zone back up. So all this previous support is again turned support at this area. So what does it mean? It means that if the market will actually go to make a retest again of this zone, what will happen? What will happen is that all this zone will act as an incredibly strong level of demand from which we actually expect a rejection to the upside. But at that point, that is exactly what we want to see. Because on the monthly, as we have already said, we want to see the market give us a retracement, right? On the weekly, we have already seen that the market failed to break lower. Therefore, we want to see a move to the upside. On the daily, we have already seen that all the structure is now broken to the upside. So if the market will make a retracement to this level, this is a very interesting level to actually follow because from here, this strong move to the upside can actually start. Now, before I show you how we will be approaching this situation with students, let's go and give a quick check at what we have from a COT perspective on the pound and on AUD. So let's start by looking at what we have from an institutional perspective on the pound. Now, this is the COT data, so the commitment of traders. So how the biggest banks and institutions, the non-commercials in the market, which are the biggest speculators, how are they positioned basically, which are their orders. So what we can see is that from a pound perspective, if we look at the net positions, we have seen net positions decreasing, meaning that actually increasing, so becoming less negative. We went from minus 36K all the way up to minus 15K, which means that in the short term, what is happening is that the pound is getting bought by big banks and institutions. And in fact, what you can see here is that they added first 4.7K, then another 5.4K long positions. So more longs are getting added than shorts. And in fact, net positions are increasing. And the longs, you can clearly see that they increased. We went from 26K all the way up to 46K on the pound from an institutional perspective. So pound getting strong. And if we go and see what we have from an AUD perspective, we can see that the AUD is starting to get weak. In fact, with the last report, we can see that institutions have closed 3.7K long positions and opened 690 shorts, bringing net positions again to a negative number. So can we expect the continuation to the upside? Absolutely yes, because as we have just said, on the monthly, we want to see a retracement, as we said at the beginning of the video. On the weekly, the market failed to break lower. On the daily, we have bullish structure. So as usual, monthly, weekly, daily, and the COT data are the best way to find the direction of the market. But then obviously you have to confirm that direction with the 4-hour time frame. So with students, after the market will actually retrace inside of this zone, what we will be doing. As usual, with students, we will be monitoring price action on the 4-hour time frame inside of this area, waiting for the market to provide to us one of our valid entries. And only after the market will have provided to us one of our valid entries, we will be taking a nice long with a very, very, very good risk reward to the upside. And at that point, good probabilities for this move to the upside and completion of all the patterns as we have just spoke about to the upside. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you smash that like button and comment below. It really does support the creation of more free analysis and education for all of you. Also, make sure you click the link in description because you will find the best program out there. So the mentorship program, which is structured in the best way possible, because first you learn all the rules of my rule-based strategies and then you trade them live with me each and every day. I give you a new daily market breakdown showing you exactly how to apply these strategies with entry, stop, and take profit, as well as answering every single question that you have every day. So I really suggest you go and check it out, or I will see you in the next video.